and gentlemen, we are live here tonight at Darlington for the season finale for the All-American Cup Series. Tonight, we've got the Gen 4 Cup cars here at Darlington for the finale. In the booth with me, Christian Taylor. Christian, what are you thinking?
We're here in Darlington, South Carolina, one of the best tracks on the NASCAR circuit. Going to be crowning a championship tonight. Will it be Christopher Heller, your points leader? All he needs is to basically finish pretty much higher than 19th place. Or could it be Stephen Miles or Nicholas Gowan? Find out right here live tonight on Hutchinson Motorsports TV.
It's going to be interesting how this plays out. Right now, we're watching the 40-car Connor LaFrance. He's not in the championship picture somehow, but it's been a good season for him. He's going to try to put down a lap time here, ripping it around the Speedway. We are going to play some tunes, kick back, relax, enjoy the action. We'll be back here for the season finale here, All-American Cup Series, Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. Qualifying is over, and it's official. Christian, you have something to tell these fans at home?
Curtis White is your Mike Husby Design Pole Award winner and the final one for the season.
Well done. We have a 4-minute warm-up, make it 5-minute warm-up here. So top of the board for the last time of the season here in the All-American Cup Series. Chris Worrell rolling out on the track here, but should be a good one, Christian. You know, coming in, it appears that the points championship is all but locked up.
You know, I'm trying to get some confirmation right now. I said originally that, you know, Heller just has to finish 19th, but I am pretty certain if I'm doing my calculations right, he would need to finish 43rd to not win the championship here tonight. And there's only 36 drivers. So what does that mean, Blake?
That means it sounds like he's going to win it here tonight. Looking at Stephen Miles in second, 31 points back. I mean, I know there are some bonus points and stuff as well, but I know there's not that many of them. So, I mean, Heller basically just needs to roll around the track a little bit here tonight.
So that's right. If everything goes his way, and to the best of my knowledge, Christopher Heller is already your All-American Cup Series champion.
But not quite yet, though, Christian. I believe this is the old-style points. It's not 1 point per position like nowadays, though. So I think he is going to have to do better than run last. But we're going to see how it works out for him, though, as Casey Carrington rolling around the Speedway here for warm-up, trying to get that thing dialed in. It's been up and down, mostly down season for Casey Carrington.
Definitely so. You know, quite a bit of unluck for him, you know, just getting involved in incident after incident that isn't even his fault.
And then we got Mike Husby out here from Mike Husby Designs out of Ontario, Canada, in that number 6 machine. You know, Christian, Mike Husby, I asked him about doing a paint, and he said he doesn't really even do paints anymore.
Well, there you go. But we know someone who does.
Yeah, well, if you reach out to Mike and he isn't feeling like doing one, let us know. We might be able to send you somewhere, but he's going to rip it out off the corner there. Almost junks it. Oh, and one smokes the wall.
That wall has been beat horribly tonight already in practice. I can tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to have to paint this track before we even go green because they are leaving their paint all over the wall.
You know, it's going to be interesting. Darlington usually brings out a different variety of drivers up front, so we're going to see if that's the case here tonight as Carrington is top of the board for practice so far.
I'm seeing about 5 cars that are already going to need to wheel off their backups off the trailer. They have junked this cars tonight already. They're driving like a pile of meatloaf out there.
100%, but we got a couple more minutes of warm-up action. We're going to kick back, relax, take a moment, click that like button, subscribe to the channel. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, we got a couple messages to send your way. We'll be back in a moment for the start of this one.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed. For the first time ever, it's a racing Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Great flag in the air as a GTV ripping down the front straight. Right there with him. Smokes them. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk! It's a parking lot! They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's gonna be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked! Oh my goodness!
Turned.
He got dumped in racing. Caution is out. Oh! He's dead! Toward each other, Richter Johnson! Checkered flag in the air! Scott Ricker wins it!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Darlington Motor Speedway for the Southern 200 All-American Cup Series season finale, 147 laps around the Speedway. Christian, it is time to get our grid up and announce our starting lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, here is tonight's starting lineup for the Southern 200 All-American Cup Series season finale. Here is tonight's starting lineup on the front row in the Mike Husby Designs Polo Award spot. The 63, Curtis White on his outside. The 40, Connor LaFrance.
Moving right along to row number 2 in the 31 here tonight, you have Nick Goen. To his outside, Justin Thompson from Cornerstone Racing in that 3 car.
Row number 3 on the inside, gonna be the number 11, Matthew Weeks. On his outside, the 91, Dylan Rosenberg.
Moving back to row number 4, you got Alex Bryson from Laser Racing in that 83, and Chris Worrell in the 06 from Team Rocket Racing.
In row number 5 on the inside in the 1 machine, Stephen Miles from Laser Racing. On his outside, the 24, Dayton Taylor.
Moving back to row number 6, James Lowe in the 07, also from Team Rocket Racing, and then Marcelo Montenegro from Chile in the number 12 car.
Starting in the 13th position, looking to get the job done here tonight is the 16, Christopher Heller Jr. On his outside, the 01, Lilith Peters.
Moving back to row number 8, Justin Ray from Piston Broke Motorsports in the 38, and you got James Silver from Cornerstone in the 17.
In a row behind them in the 17th position in the 65 machine, Elijah Cole on his outside, the 21, Christopher Murphy.
Row number 10, Mitchell Mark from the race team in 28th position, the 28th number, and you got Christian Rowdy Angel from Harpoon Design Racing in the 75.
The pace car is in, field is set. If we didn't say your favorite driver, they're slow, they're junk. Green flag in the air, the Southern 200 is underway.
Southern 200 as the sun's going down. Look at this shot. They're coming right to us through 1 and 2. Get as close to your wall as you could get and earn your Darlington stripes here tonight.
Curtis White trying to hold on to that lead spot, but he's stuck on the bottom as the 40, Connor LaFrance down the backstretch, heading into turn 3, takes over your race lead.
Connor LaFrance battling the 63 on the bottom side. Justin Thompson behind him. Look at this shot right here. This looks like the Intimidator himself rumbling around Darlington here. Look at the he doesn't care about your feelings tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
The Fairmount, Georgia native, Justin Thompson. He drives everything, Christian. He drives some dirt, asphalt. Hell, he might even drive road.
Definitely so. Everywhere you look, you see him on the track.
Behind him, we got Nick Goen, got the job done. I believe it was last week in that 31 machine. He's probably got his dad, Curtis, was it? No, it was Greg, sorry. He's probably got his dad, Greg, in the chat. Greg, if you're there, let us know.
Absolutely, just watch him ripping it through the turn, getting it all the way up to the wall. If you exit here on 2 and don't kiss the wall, you probably left some speed on the table.
We're going to the dash cam with Nick Goen. Sitting in the 4th position, right behind the 3 car. That's Justin Thompson as Connor LaFrance continues to lead the race out front.
You mentioned Greg, and he appeared, and he says he's got a big bag of Twizzlers, half a bottle of Jameson. He told him to pull those belts tight, throw your balls over your shoulder, push hard on the right pedal, and drive that thing like you stole it.
All right, we're going to see if Nick can get the job done again. We know Greg is leading him on, but right now, Mauricio Montenegro in the 14th position, all the way from Chile. From Chile to Hutchinson Motorsports TV here at Darlington. Christian jumping around. Looks like the fastest lap of the session was just turned by the 01 Lilith Peters in the 12th position.
You know, she's always kind of sneaking around the top five. You know, her best finish is second this season, but consistently showing speed. Definitely one to watch throughout the night.
100%. We got Christian Angel running in that 75 machine. Boy, Christian had a rough night last evening in the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. He ended up crashing out.
Yeah, definitely a rough evening, but look at that paint job. Oh my God, I think it's beautiful rumble around Darlington.
That is a beautiful thing to look at in that 75. I tell you what, Christian Angel trying to get that car rolling. He's running in the 17th position. He might be a field filler tonight, Christian.
Maybe so, but he's looking good while doing it.
I'll tell you who, I wouldn't even call him a field filler right now. Trevor McLachlan is running dead last at 99 off his depot machine. Is slow, and he is junk, Christian.
That's the position you'd be in if you were out there. I know how you love Darlington, Blake.
I hate this track almost as much as I hate Pocono.
Do you know Kyle Petty's opinion of this track?
I believe he wants to fill it with water. Is that right?
He says it's better filled with water and put some bass, make a bass fishing tournament out of it. But all I got to say is Kyle Petty's opinion is irrelevant because this is one of the best tracks you could race on.
It's good to watch racing. I just don't like racing. A lot of times, I don't like broadcasting it either, but tonight's been good so far. We're going to keep our eyes here on this number one. Stephen Miles currently running in the 9th position, trying to get around the 06 of Chris Worrell.
He's going to see he's going to poke his nose down the bottom side. The high side's definitely the one you want to do. You know, at most tracks, the wall's your enemy. At Darlington, she's your dance partner. You want to play with the lady in black and get your stripe on.
And we jump back out front. Justin Thompson trying to reel in that race leader. He has not won a race yet this season, I don't believe. Well, he might have when I was gone. I don't remember. But nonetheless, Thompson trying to get it done here at Darlington.
Definitely so. Looking at him trying to catch up to that Sterling Marlin throwback of Connor LaFrance.
Still out front with Thompson in second, White sitting in third, Goen and Weeks rounding out your top five. The 11, Matthew Weeks, I tell you what, this guy, he's always sneaking around the top five.
Definitely so. You know, he's always one you do have to keep an eye on, as you just mentioned. But, you know, tonight, I think it's going to go a different way. I'm going to go ahead and lock in my pick to win it tonight. And, you know, you always say I pick the leader, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to pick Justin Thompson in that 3 car tonight.
Well, that's a good pick there. That's who I was considering. But since you took him, I'm going to have to go with the 40 of LaFrance, but it's going to be tough to hold off that 3 machine. I expect Thompson to be a handful out there tonight.
Definitely so. And Darlington is one of those tracks where skill overcomes luck. You have to have the skill to be able to perform here and tame the lady in black. So, you know, the better drivers of the field will show themselves tonight. You know, like you mentioned, Connor LaFrance and even my pick, Justin Thompson, they're both at, you know, 4,300 and 4,600 iRating respectively.
Absolutely, and don't count out Nick Goen. He is always up front, and you know he's going to be fast here at Darlington as he's running in the 3rd position. But let's drop back a little bit, Christian. What are you seeing in the middle of the pack here? Who should we keep an eye on?
You know, back in 13th position, you already mentioned Lilith Peters. She's ran the fastest lap of the session and staying right there. But, you know, I'm seeing Casey Carrington back there in the 19th position, fastest in the warm-up. I think he's going to be one to keep an eye on moving up through the field as long as the lady in black treats him nice.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. You know, track position is your friend here at Darlington. It is not the easiest place to pass, but also a big thing is saving those tires as well.
Definitely so. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat where you see Cecil Hoggs, Zizzo, you know, Cecil's going to definitely pick a Gazoo Cat to win this. But for everyone else, tell us who you think is going to be the winner tonight. Connor Gerard asks, what paint scheme do y'all like so far in this race?
Well, you know, that's a good idea, Connor. You know what? Since you brought it up, let's go ahead and do it, Christian. It is time to take the Harpoon design, peep the paints. Let's find the awesome graphic we have here. Let me look. Here we go. So there it is. Time to peep the paints with Harpoon design. Christian, what are you seeing out there?
You know, I look at a couple like the 18, the 21. You know, a lot of the people in this field are using just, you know, trading paint, stock paints, but they can order their own paint. Like, you know, just like Christian Angel did.
Yeah, Christian
From Harpo
Rowdy
Design.
Angel, that is a custom paint job. You know, and like Christian mentioned, a lot of these guys, they like these throwback paints. Well, Christian Angel, he wants his own custom paint, so he got a hold of Brantley Roden from Harpo Design. He got one ripped up, and he is looking good, even though he's not very fast.
Definitely one of the best looking cars on the track, you know, and I'm going to have to do a shout out myself. I'm a John Deere fan. Alexander Bryson, I'm pretty sure that's a throwback or just a throwback paint like I mentioned before too, but that's one beautiful car. Also.
And here's Bryson running in the 6th position in the John Deere 83 throwback out of Elmington, Pennsylvania. And we just got a subscription come in. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Jernigan is the latest GOAT of Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Austin, you are in for a treat, buddy.
Welcome in, Austin. We love all of our GOATs here at Hutchinson Motorsports TV. You just made the best decision of your life. Go ahead and unsubscribe from Hulu, Netflix, Paramount Plus. You don't need them anymore. You have found your new home.
100%. Quit wasting your money on those junk streaming services. All you're going to need, Hutchinson Motorsports TV, and it's free, folks. But we jump back out front. Connor LaFrance out of Burlington, Vermont. Still your race leader. Looks like he's actually starting to pull away as Nick Gowen taking over the 2nd spot from Justin Thompson.
Definitely so. I actually heard an interesting fact about that 31 Singular wireless paint. They ran that paint up until the Sprint series took over, and they actually had a big dispute over they said they were told they couldn't run that paint actually back in the day. Just an interesting tidbit of information there.
Yep, because when AT&T, I believe they owned Sprint at the time, and they did not want any other companies to have any advertisement related to cellular phones.
Definitely so. You know, it kind of, you go back and think about what sponsors could have been in the sport. What kind of cars could we have seen if it wasn't for, you know, rival organizations fighting each other?
Well, Christian, and it's funny you mentioned that. I actually saw a documentary on that whole topic, and Verizon, they were actually a big sponsor at the time. I can't remember which driver at the time, but it was a big ordeal for them. They really wanted to have a sponsorship, and they couldn't. So what they ended up doing, I think they were the first ones to, you know, those in-car stickers they put all over the roll bars inside the car? Well, I believe Verizon Wireless, they were the first ones to do that to get around of the sponsorship limits they had.
It's definitely a smart thing there to do. You know, I also, in this, we might have saw the parts of the same documentary. I saw where when Monster Energy took over, they made it the Monster Energy Cup Series, they could care less what beverages were on the cars. They said that they knew what they had.
That's well put. As Curtis White was your pole sitter here, currently running in the 4th position, that 63 car out of Sacramento, California. He's really trying not to get junked this week.
Definitely so. You know, here at Darlington, I keep saying it, this is a track that can allow you to junk yourself. You don't really need somebody to mess you up. You can get yourself messed up off of one of these turns.
Absolutely, as we hop up to the Harpoon Design blimp with our eyes in the sky here, folks. Let's see what Brantley Roden's doing up in the sky.
Brantley Roden high above Darlington Speedway here, where I'm going to be Sunday and Saturday myself. Got a good shot right here. Chris Worrell rumbling down the Boeing straightaway.
Yeah, Chris Worrell currently running in the 10th position, but he's got the 24 right behind him. See if the 24 can get around him. Looks like he's a little bit faster. Just, you know, as we mentioned earlier, sometimes it's a little tough to get around here at Darlington if we got a pass right in front of him.
Definitely is. The best way to pass at the Darlington is get that corner exit. Oh, Stephen Miles gets upset out of that turn. Able to save it, keep it straight, but he's going to lose a position or two and has to enter the corner lower than anyone really wants to this early in a run.
Well, here he is, Christopher Heller Jr. He's trying to stay out of trouble. He basically needs to not junk it here tonight.
You know, he is the championship leader and consistently at the end is there when it counts. But, you know, throughout the entire race, he kind of holds down, you know, I'd say upper middle pack.
Yep, and that's all he needs to do tonight. Right now, sitting in the 9th position. That is definitely more than enough he needs to finish. But out front, Connor LaFrance has led every lap of this race, I believe. He is my pick to win it out front, while Christian's pick Justin Thompson has fallen back to the 4th position.
Definitely so. And our statistics manager, Bump and Run, Jesse Becker, has confirmed, like he said, I just didn't read it right. If Heller finishes 19th or better, it's locked. He's the champion. So as long as he's ahead of 19th position tonight, he is your champion.
And we know Stephen Miles is in 2nd, so that's with Stephen Miles winning and getting bonus points. So definitely has to have a stinker of a night here not to get the job done, but you never know. Might get involved in a wreck as the 3 of Thompson gets passed by the 11 of Weeks. Oh, we got a wreck
Definitely
here, Justin.
so.
Ray is jumping.
Let's take a look here. Darlington's notorious for not throwing the caution. He's just going to get loose off of the turn, slide it down, going to kiss the wall. Mwah. No caution, though. He's going to have time to back up and just get it going straight. We stay green, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, still clean and green out front. I know some of these guys, like Justin Thompson, might be rooting for a caution right now. He appears to continue to fall back. Might hurt those tires a little bit.
Definitely so. The way I see Darlington, and me and Jesse called a race back a couple weeks ago here. If it doesn't happen within the first 2 grooves of the track, there will not be an automatic yellow at this track. That's just the facts of nature.
Yeah, so we're probably looking at a mostly green race. Might get 1 or 2 cautions thrown in there, and that's something that we could use here on Thursday nights.
Definitely so. We'll take a moment to do my weekly track facts. Of course, we are at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. Darlington, that is, just outside of Florence. This track opened in 1950, the very first NASCAR Super Speedway, as they call it. They nicknamed it the Lady in Black because crews used to coat the track in fresh asphalt sealant before race weekends, leaving it dark black color.
That is definitely some interesting facts. I almost fell asleep while you mentioned it.
Well, you know, some people find it interesting. I've heard from our audience, Blake. It might bore you, but our audience enjoys it.
All right, well, nonetheless, we drop back here in the field. James Lowe running in the 13th position as Casey Carrington looking to make the pass and take over that spot.
Slides up in front of him, heading down the front stretch of the sold-out crowd here at Darlington.
Well, I tell you what, Christian, it's crazy how many tickets we sold here tonight. Thursday night racing in Darlington, probably the first race we ever put on in Darlington on a Thursday night, and it is just jam-packed. The campgrounds are full, and we got one down to the apron there, almost able to keep it rolling.
It looked like 3 or 4 of them tried to there. You know, outside of 4, it's just like that track's slick, like the 69 truck last night and the K&Y jelly machine.
Yeah, if you guys tuned in to the GLSR Mr. Radiator Trucks season opener last night, it was a good one, and we had a couple of pretty interesting wrecks. But out front, though, Connor LaFrance, a 1.5-second lead. My pick to win it is looking good.
You know, you always rip on me for taking the fastest or taking the leader. That's exactly what you did here tonight, Blake.
Caution.
Oh, caution!
I do not have a log on what happened here. Here we go. I was able to find it here. Let's rewind this a little bit here, folks. Caution is out. Let's see what happened. Oh, I have a little bit of help here. We're watching the 66, Jacob Thornton in the corner here. Looks like he's going to get, oh, let's see. Oh, no, he just creams the wall. Oh, my.
Oh! Did you see how hard that car went left there, excuse me?
Yeah, it's a 61 there. Let's get a better look at what happened. That's Steve Ritter. Rewind this a bit. So he's just really nowhere to go. Car in front of him just slides up the track, comes off the corner, smokes the wall, bam, runs him over. He just goes straight down, heading to the wall. He's junk.
That car looks like it went 10 rounds with a cheese grater. Mr. Steve Ritter, welcome to Darlington.
We're going to rewind this here. Watch it from what Steve Ritter saw in his car. We play it live here. Heading into the corner. He's behind the 66. 66 washes out the corner a little bit too hard here. Right there, he's going to cream the wall. Wham! Right back in front of him. Ritter dumps him. Head to first. He's junk.
Viewer discretion is advised, ladies and gentlemen, but we said that, you know, a moment too late, you know. Oh, well.
Well, his night is finished, but everybody down pit road here, they're going to get the fresh tires. Connor LaFrance going to hold on to that race lead, maybe. A little close. Not sure here. Did Gowen get him? He might have got him at the line there. Looks like new race leader Nick Gowen beats him out of pit road just narrowly.
You know, I'm going to say that's probably an only for now thing with the speed that Connor has. Let's watch this pit road exit one more time.
Wow.
Oh, by a hair.
So close here. Barely beats him out.
Wow. That's an intense battle off pit road right there.
Close as it gets, and that is a big deal here at Darlington. Now Gowen gonna have that fresh, clean air out front, and but you know the good news though, LaFrance gonna get to start on that preferred outside line, so actually might have been a good move for him. But the field is set here. Front row going to be Gowen and LaFrance as we check out the Hutchinson Motorsports TV chat here. Have Connor, Gerard, Zizzo, Greg Gowen. Who else? Rachel Gowen. Gowen's got a lot of fans out there. Jaker the Snake in the chat too. All kinds of fans out here. 18 of yous watching. Click that like button on the video real quick before we drop the hammer. Go green. Click that subscribe button as well, please.
Definitely so. The cars are coming down the backstretch. Look at that shot here. We are on the track. There's actually a cameraman laying right there.
Christian, we're going to do this one differently here. We're going to go green on the track here. It is time to bring the noise with Harpoon Design. Race car is in, field is set. We are trackside. Green flag in the air.
Listen to these cars rumble.
Yeah, great shots around the track as we have a side-by-side battle for the lead. Not for long, no Gowen gonna take that spot back over.
Nick definitely, trying to stay in the ahead right there. Greg in the chat still rooting on his little boy who did it last week, hoping to do it again.
Well, I don't know who's rooting harder for Nick right now. Is it Rachel or is it Greg?
Well, we got a family affair here tonight, I'll say.
Yeah, the entire family.
I think even Connor roots for Nick.
I think,
Connor Gerard.
Nick was telling me he was going to get his second and third cousins in the chat as well. So we probably have a Gowen family reunion brewing right now in this season finale with the All-American Cup Series Southern 200 at Darlington Speedway.
Definitely so. It's always, racing has always been a family sport.
Absolutely. As Connor LaFrance knocking on the door, he says, you better get out of the way, Nick. You're going to take the lead over from me. Well, I might just junk you.
Connor's knocking on heaven's door. If heaven was a single wireless 31 Chevy Monte Carlo.
Yeah, he's looking to make a move here, and he's got a little bit of company behind him. That is our pole sitter tonight, the 63 of Curtis White in that third position.
Blake, Nick's brother-in-law, is in the chat. Jonathan M.
Jonathan, welcome aboard. Nick was telling me all about you. He is a big fan. Trust me, told me a lot of good things about you. Believe it or not, Christian, Nick gives me a call just about every night. He's always asking for driving tips, and he says it's really improved his racecraft this whole season.
Definitely so. I think everyone in the chat is rooting Nick Gowen along here tonight. He says, "What's up, Hogpen?" So, I saw in the chat earlier, the Hogpen is open. That is basically the Harleys are parked outside, and they're eating Twizzlers and watching that 31 machine.
Yeah, Austin Jernigan pulling for Nick out front. He is your race leader. The Nick Gowen family reunion is brewing in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV chat, folks. Again, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. This is the only place you can catch non-stop racing 4 to 5 times every week.
Definitely so. Here tonight is more than just a race. It's a test of courage, endurance, and survival. And by the end of the night, only one driver will stand as tall as the master of Darlington Speedway.
Folks, I think Christian was working on that one for hours to finally put out.
Definitely so. I finally found a moment.
But right now, Going still trying to hold off that 40 of LaFrance. We know he's probably been the best car all night, but Going doing a great job holding on for now as we drop back a little bit. Justin Thompson into the 5th position, had a good start to this one, started to fall back. He is going to try and save those tires a little bit more.
Yep. Oh, he slaps the wall, gets his stripe on out of the turn there. But like we said before, if you don't hit that wall out of the turn, you left speed on the table.
Yeah, you know, you definitely got to hit that thing. As the 83 looking to get underneath him.
John Deere Green under the black and white Intimidator. Let's see what he's got for us. I think, you know, Justin might just lift for him right here. Nope, he's staying side by side, gonna pull away. The top line is dominant.
Yeah, it's just so tough to get that pass down. You really have to time things, and he might even lose a spot here trying to make that pass happen as the 06 of Worrell pulls underneath him.
Worrell trying to make something work here. Stephen Miles putting himself in to the game also.
Yeah, back out front, the battle for the race lead continues. LaFrance right on that back bumper, waiting for a mistake from Nick Going in that singular wireless 31 machine, your race leader.
You know, he talks on the cell phone every time he races, and that's thanks to singular wireless. You know, it has signal everywhere, except for when you need it.
Absolutely, and in the chat, Jake the Snake saying, how do you bet against a driver named Go Win?
And Austin answered him, says you just don't. You sit back and watch magic happen.
Absolutely, Nick Going. I swear he's been out front every time he's made it out. I think he's missed a couple of races, unfortunately, or he would definitely be in that championship contention.
Definitely so. You know, straight out Wilmington, North Carolina, like we mentioned before, you know, right up the road from me, only about a 25-minute drive. I go there as little as possible.
And I don't blame you from what I've heard, but we jump around the track here. Your points leader, Christopher Heller Jr. in the 12th position. That is all he needs to finish to get the job done here tonight. And Stephen Miles, who is second in points, is only in 7th. So he's just a few spots behind him.
Definitely so. And with Steve Ritter, he seems to be out of this race, or at least he's 15 laps down. That's one spot more that Christopher Heller doesn't need to worry about. Oh, the 9, it gets into the 24 there. 24 puts him in the wall.
Yeah, 24 looks like he kind of stuffed Casey there into the wall. Casey probably not happy. Back up front here, Christian race lead, still bumper to bumper. Connor LaFrance, he is just waiting to strike. You know, a lot of guys, they rush up there, they instantly go for the pass. Connor knows better. He's going to save his tires. He's just staying right on that back bumper of Nick Going.
Definitely so. Look at Connor LaFrance battling Nick Going. I just heard in the chat, I want to give a shout out to Jimmy's in Wrightsville Beach. Apparently a bar is streaming our cast in support of Nick Going in that 31 machine. What's up, Jimmy's?
Jimmy's is tuned in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. Folks, while you got a minute, we are heading into lap number 50. Nick Going, your race leader out front in the Darlington Southern 200. Take a moment, pull out your phone, folks. We know you're watching on the big screen, but grab your phone, head on over to YouTube, search Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We are the world's #1 streaming service. We'll come up. And click that channel, log in, like the video, subscribe to the page. Most importantly, this is the only place you're going to see Nick Going lead the Southern 200 with the All-American Cup Series.
You know, welcome in. That's all I can say.
Boy, Christian, tell these fans they are in for a real treat here tonight. You thought NASCAR racing on TV was interesting? Well, this is going to be better.
Definitely so. You know, look at this battle right here for the race lead. Conor LaFrance is right there on the bumper. See it in his eyes. The singular wireless 31, the hometown favorite in Wilmington, North Carolina.
We are on Hutchinson Motorsports TV dash cam with Conor LaFrance sitting in the second position, trying to get around Nick Going. Caution is out, Christian. Drew
I
Cole
do
is
not see
jumped.
why myself. Not true.
Oh, it looks like the 80 throws a slide job. Oh, he just dumped him. He took him out.
Oh, other cars involved. Collects a few.
The Arca break from hell! It was all mine! Oh, oh my goodness. What are these guys doing? Did they fall asleep behind the wheel, Christian?
These 7 had 5 to 10 business days to react.
Look at this. He just goes right to him. He doesn't even try. Wham! It gets better, though. Boom!
They both raw gas, no brakes with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, my. Who is that other? Who is the second one there? Is that that wasn't Dalton
It
Wilson?
looked like the 90. It looked like the 90. No, it wasn't the 99. It was the 95 of Eric Clayball.
Let me find him here, folks. Clayball just, well, you know, I mean, I won't blame him for this. He tried to go low, but the 7 smoked that guy underneath him. So let's hop on board here with Clayball, who finishes off the job here. But okay, so we're on board with the 95, Aaron Clayball. He's cruising right now. Still cruising. He sees a wreck. He's like, all right, he lifts, checks up. Oh, okay, that was a little late, actually. Okay, I'll pin that on him. That was his fault.
Oh my goodness, that was, you know, just 2 avoidable hits. Tore up some extra race cars.
Now, Christian, I believe Dalton Wilson, he's filling in the rest of the season for, I believe, Logan Hamilton. Last week, he was involved in a wreck. Well, this week, same thing. Watch his Arca break from hell, from the 7 of Dalton Wilson. He sees a wreck. We're on board here. There's a wreck in front of him. He's still floored,
1,
still floored,
2,
still floored.
3,
he didn't even try to
4.
dodge him. He didn't even turn the wheel. Oh, my goodness.
Definitely not. He definitely had, like I said before, 5 to 6 business days to react. It just chose not to.
What is he doing? I mean, look at the wheel right here, Christian. He literally doesn't even try to avoid him. Look at the wheel. It's still turned just a touch. Just a touch. Just a touch. He just smokes him.
How for a Sunday drive here at Darlington on Thursday night?
Well, I don't think, you know, I'd say, I don't know. That's just a lack of talent right there, Christian. I'll call it how it is, as Nick Goen, your race leader out front, trying to hold off Conor LaFrance. We had a couple Arca breaks from hell back there. Goen going to choose that high line, it looks like.
That, you know, that's always the better choice here at Darlington. You know, you got to run that high line.
So Goen going to take that high line. LaFrance on the bottom. Goen looking to get a big jump like he did the last restart. And Christian, this all started because that race off of pit road, if you remember, Nick Goen wins that race off pit road by about a less than a nose, I'd say.
Definitely so. The crowd at Jimmy's in Wrightsville Beach cheering him on. Once again, what's up, Jimmy's?
Yeah, you know,
But
we're going to have to
ladies
pull
and
up,
gentlemen-
Christian, try to pull up some info about Jimmy's in Wrightsville.
I definitely will.
Yeah, Jimmy's
actually-
in Wrightsville Beach. Christian's going to pull up some info. Big shout out to Jimmy's over there, the best bar in the business.
Definitely so. I Uber a lot of times, and that place is always packed right there on the corner as soon as you turn left on to Wrightsville Beach. But, ladies and gentlemen, pace car's off, and now the green flag is back out of
Are you
Dodge.
okay
and the
there? I
lady in
thought
black
you,
is wide awake.
Thought you were having a medical issue there for a second. I was going to take over. But Nick Goen out front. Your race leader, Conor LaFrance, was falling asleep there, heading into the restart zone.
You know, I didn't want to announce it too early. I had to wait on the actual flag.
Yeah, but Conor LaFrance looking to get going. We saw him. He was able to get to that back bumper of Goen, just could not ever make the move to get around him here at Darlington. But plenty of time to go here. We are in lap number 55 out of 147 here tonight in the Southern 200. Connor Gerard in the chat, you know, he mentioned what a wreck. Yeah, you're right, Connor. What do you think of that Arca break we just witnessed? Pretty impressive. We've seen some good ones this season. That might be the most intentional one we've seen. Didn't even try to avoid them.
Definitely so, but you wanted some information about Jimmy's Wrightsville Beach. Like I said, if you go over the main bridge onto the, main drag there of the beachfront, first bar pretty much on the left, it's the home of live music on Lumina Avenue and is the official, unofficial home of the Carolina Panthers.
And, Christian, rumor is we're working out a deal. They're going to become the official home of Hutchinson Motorsports TV as well.
Definitely so. So if you're ever in the Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina area, or the surrounding areas, which is Hampstead, Wilmington, Leland, go to 5 North Lumina Avenue in Wrightsville Beach.
Absolutely got to check them out. Next time I'm in the area, I'm definitely heading over there, and I'm going to see what kind of specials they got as Dayton Taylor running in the 11th position right now.
It is about time you actually come see me and Jesse down here.
Now, maybe one of those days. If you guys will buy my ticket.
Know how it is. You don't even buy us race tickets.
Absolutely. As Chris Worrell looking to the inside here of Stephen Miles. Miles looking to run well here tonight. He's got an outside shot at this championship. He really needs to pull off a great finish, though, to have a shot.
Definitely so. He needs the misfortune of Heller and the very much so fortunate of his win. But, this has been pretty much a 2, maybe 3-car show here tonight. Nick Goen definitely keeping this held down right now as he's walking away from LaFrance.
As we hop on board your second place car, Connor LaFrance trying to reel back and Nick going. It is not working, though. Nick out front by 0.6 of a second with his whole family watching and the entire bar.
Definitely so. This could be his second win in, 2 in a row is what I'm trying to say. Stumbling over my tongue here.
We're on board. Look at the focus and determination. He knows his entire family is watching. Is he going to let his whole family down, Christian?
I don't think so. My pick to win it from the beginning.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it definitely was.
But he is determined out front here, but it looks like the 40 of LaFrance made up some ground that lap as he's 0.3 of a second behind him now.
Definitely so. Lap 61 of 147, 200 miles here. And the lady in black.
Yeah, we're not even halfway done here. It has been a fairly clean and green race for the most part, other than a couple of incidences. As we jump around, looks like we've got a pass brewing here as the 3-car is duking it out with the 24 and the 01 of Lilith Peters. When Christian Casey Harrington started all the way back in the trying to do some quick math here, 26th position, he is up to 7th.
Definitely so. I'm going to slide a note across the desk, Blake, here. Just take a moment to read it. But nonetheless, just watching some racing action here. Lilith Peters trying to defend off Casey on the bottom side.
All right, well, we're watching Lilith Peters.
Nick Goen down to a second.
We're going to break here. ladies and gentlemen, we are back here trying to fix some issues in the chat. We understand the frustration, but we cannot read the mind. Sometimes these technical difficulties happen. So Michael Mullins, if you're not happy, feel free to close out the stream and get out. But out front, Nick Gowen, your race leader. Jasper Crawford currently running in the 13th position. Right now on lap number 97, what are you seeing out front here, Christian?
Nick Gowen with his 2.5 lead here. Casey Carrington trying to run him down. Conor LaFrance behind him. So Nick Gowen still off to a commanding lead.
Yeah, Nick Gowen out front, 1.3 second lead for now. Carrington up to the second position with more than 50 laps left to go. Looks like we fixed some issues here. Looks like the stream's running okay for now, and we are caught back up live.
Does appear so. Greg Gowen in the chat says he's about out of Jamison. Excuse me, not out yet. That might be an emergency. We need to hurry up and finish these 50 laps before Greg Gowen runs out of Jamison.
Absolutely heading in a lap 100 this time around. Nick Gowen, your race leader in front of a sold-out crowd here with the Southern 200.
Apparently the bar is doing shots to fuel up Nick Gowen now. Once again, hello Jimmy's in Wrightsville Beach.
Yeah, Jimmy's burning it down right now with Nick Gowen out front, the Wilmington, North Carolina native. What's up, Hogpen? The Hogpen is tuned in here tonight with just 47 laps left to go here.
Conor LaFrance is, working on that pass right there. But Nick Gowen on screen right now.
Yeah, ripping it around.
Coming down
good.
the front
Jumping
stretch.
Around. What are you seeing throughout the field here, Christian, other than Nick Gowen briefly dominating this race right now?
Just heard over the chat, we're going to have some pit stops happening. James Lowe back in the 17th position coming in for his service. And I can imagine, Lilith Peters, she's on flat 50 of her run, definitely going to be coming in soon. I'd have to assume, at least, because those tires have to be screaming and crying right now.
Yeah, with the strategy of her staying out there on that last caution, she really needs this thing just to stay green to the finish. Make sure, I assume everybody would still have to pit, but I don't even know at that point.
I don't know, but she's coming in right now.
Yeah, Peter's
See
down
a few
pit
other people.
road. Nick Gowen, your leader. Casey Carrington trying to reel him in, but here comes Conor LaFrance in the third position, trying to get around the 9 of Carrington.
Definitely what a race leader needs is a battle right here for second. Conor LaFrance, trying to slide up. Drivers on the radio talking about how they're loose. Casey's going to give him the position now. So Conor LaFrance is going to start his charge 2 seconds back, but he's going to try to catch Nick Gowen here. Not sure about their pit cycles, but 44 to go. Can he do it?
Looking to get the job done. Looks like that race lead is growing for Gowen out front. There's Lowe behind him. Just came off pit road, has the fresh tires, so expect to see that 07 get around your race leader to get one of his laps back. Meanwhile, Mauricio Montenegro out of Santiago, Chile, currently running in the 15th position, trying to put that thing into the top 10 if he can. It has been an up and down night for Montenegro. This is a tough track for the Chilean.
Definitely so. You know, I'm watching, keeping an eye out on some of these pit cycles. More people are coming in. So Lilith Peters, you know, pit after 50 laps. I'm going to go over to our race leader and see how many laps. He's been on 32. So I have a feeling he's definitely going to have to pit one more time. Oh, that's a 24. Pushing the issue on those fresh tires. Lap car, but daggone, he about turned the race leader.
Yeah, so there we go. We know these guys are going to have to pit out front. So, again, Lilith Peters, that strategy is staying out during that caution. The only way it'll work out for her is if this thing stays green the rest of the way. And at that point, hopefully, she can make her time back up. Connor LaFrance took over the second position from Carrington, while Carrington in third, Heller sitting in fourth, and then Bryson rounding out the top five.
Christopher Heller been out there. Same strategy as our race leader. He's had 32 laps on those tires. The 83 John Deere breathing down his neck.
So Heller trying to lock up the championship here tonight in the fourth position. And you see the Hutchinson Motorsports pit strategy board on the bottom right of your screen right now. These guys, when are they going to pit? Most of them are probably going to try to stay out there, hope for a caution. But here at Darlington, it's not easy to get that caution.
Definitely not. You know, it practically involves somebody spinning on the racing surface. And when I say racing surface, I mean practically top two lanes, or the automatic caution will never fly at this track.
Absolutely. It's Nick going out front, 1.7 second lead on LaFrance. He's going to have to go to work here to start reeling in, going with just about a little bit under 30 laps left to go. Here comes Carrington and Thompson down pit road.
With that in mind, I think you will probably see Nick come this time or the next.
Yeah, there's no reason to risk it out. You know, staying out there longer just kind of lowers his chances, in my opinion. So if I was Nick, I mean, I'm not saying he has to come down this time, but here in the next 5 laps or so, he really needs to head down pit road, in my opinion.
Alrighty, so all of Nick's fans watching at home, he's going to need an extra push of energy here. Cheer him on in the chat. He's going to have to do his pit cycle and try to stay ahead, you know, of the cycle here. We'll see what he could do once everything's over, said and done.
Connor LaFrance down pit road. He is the car that Nick is watching. He has been battling with him the whole time. Is he going to let the 75 around? Who's getting his lap back?
Definitely so. And I just heard in the chat, Nick going pitting this time around. Let's watch him go into pit road here. Get it woe down to pit road limit. Gets a little loose there, wobbly. Hopefully he got down to the speed limit. Gonna watch where he comes out of the pits. I'd say he's gonna have to, you know, be close to the 01 of Lilith Peters. That's probably gonna be your car right now to keep an eye on. Actually, maybe Matthew Weeks in the 11.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out going down pit road. So Heller going to take over the race lead. He is your points leader, looking to lock up the championship. He wanted to lead some laps here in the finale tonight, too.
You know, that extra point's just another, you know, make it signed, sealed, and delivered for the champion. Hopefully here tonight, unless something horrible happens, gonna be taking home some hardware, whether he wins the race or not.
100% here as we check out the chat. Connor Gerard still tuned in. We appreciate you guys sticking around here. Click that like button, subscribe to the page. Looks like the issues have been resolved, thankfully, as Heller continues to lead the race. Rosenberg second, Silver's third, followed by Crawford and Ray, rounding out your top 5 during this pit cycle.
Definitely so. Gonna peek over to the 31 now, who has completed his pit cycle. 1 lap down. But showing right behind Casey, who I believe is the pit cycle leader right now.
Yeah, things getting spicy here. We're going to see how this elects to stay out. I bet there's going to be 1 or 2 of these guys probably just going to stay out there till the very end on fuel, hope for a caution or something. Because right now we only have, I believe, 6 guys on this. Well, there's more. Yeah, it looks like there's not very many left that haven't been anyways.
Yep, like I said, you got Stephen Miles in the 11th position. Hasn't pit yet. He's a lap down. He's 41 laps on those tires, but right behind him on as far as track position goes, like I said, Casey, then Nick, and Connor LaFrance. Dude, Jasper Crawford put himself in that mix too.
Absolutely. So it looks like about 10 cars left that haven't pit. As Christopher Heller continues to lead this thing, he's to the point where it really doesn't matter when he pits. You may as well stay out there if you're Heller, hope for a caution. If not, then bring it down pit road and take a mid-pack finish. So there's McLachlan there in the 99. We saw him earlier. I believe he had a pretty good, I'm not sure if that was him or not, having an incident earlier. Craig Martin down pit road there in the 22. And here comes Justin Ray as well.
Definitely so. I'm watching this battle on track right now. The 31's trying to wheel in the 9. He's right there at him as they were just navigating some lap traffic.
And it looks to me like Connor LaFrance is over 2.5 seconds behind Goen. So Goen has this one won. As long as stays green a little bit longer, he's still a lap down at the moment with Christopher Heller, who has not pit.
Yeah, but it's inevitable. Even if he doesn't pit at this point, he'll just be passed. I mean, the speed difference is gonna be insane. Turning 31.25 second laps. Nick Goen just turned a 29.59, which was the fastest on the track.
Yeah, so tire fall off about 1.5 seconds or so here. So Goen looking to get around the 9 of Carrington. That is a battle for position right now as Carrington pit before the 31.
They know they're racing for the lead. I don't expect the 9 to make it easy on him unless he just gets loose and lets him go, but would be expected here for the 9 to let the 31 by without a fight.
Absolutely, with almost an incident there behind, but with about 28 laps remaining here tonight, Goen trying to get the job done. I'm sorry, less than that.
29 to go.
There we go, yeah.
Battle down the front stretch here. You got 2 lap cars ahead. Lucas Strayer on the screen now.
Meanwhile, Matthew Weeks cruising around the 9 car there. Weeks up to the 4th position as Carrington trying to hold off the 31 of Goen.
That's got to be frustrating, cars, down and out on tires as Matthew Weeks going to be coming for his service. 31 still right there, just can't make the pass just yet. Trying to make sure when he does it, he keeps both of them clean. Got a car in front of them, though, coming up here soon. That car up there is an open wheel modified.
Yeah, we got a couple of junk cars out here involved in some incidents earlier as we're on board with Nick Goen in the singular wireless 31 machine currently running in the 4th position, but eventually I would guess he's going to take over that race lead again. Here comes Heller.
Definitely so.
So Lucas Strayer going to take over the race lead out of Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania in that 26 machine.
$31 is poking alongside the 9 now. Side by side for what will be your race lead once pit cycles are over.
Yeah, and
which is actually now.
Yep, now because there goes Strayer down pit road. So now this is going to be the battle for the race lead. Carrington, your race leader for the first time of the night. The 9 machine of Carrington out front, but he's got slightly older tires. Can he hold off the 31 of Goen?
Goen's all over his back bumper. Gonna have the advantage off to the turn here if he can get up, but no, 9's gonna slide up in front of him, defending that position.
Boy,
Gonna be one heck of a battle.
Yeah, great strategy from Carrington to get down pit road a little bit earlier, giving him a shot here at this race win. He's still got a while to go, though, with over 20 laps remaining. Goen starting to fall back just a tad as he gets tight off the corner.
Definitely so. Like Blake said, 25 laps to go. Nick Goen fell off a little bit there, back half a second. Oh, my.
Yeah, Carrington
he
just
burned
pit
his tires up.
2 laps earlier, Carrington pit, and he made up a lot of ground doing so.
Look at him, you know. Nick Goins actually, you know, went back to a half of a second, but kind of reeling him in a little bit. So he may just got a little bit of upset in the moment, but his head's down, his eyes are focused.
In the
Any
chat,
anticipation of
Greg Gowen says the bar is going wild in anticipation. Come get us slushies and something, I don't know. But meanwhile, Gowen sitting in the second position. He is getting back to the back bumper of your race leader. Can he get the job done with his whole family watching?
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Niles has loaded up and left the track,
Well,
which
bad
practically
news.
practically just hands the championship. You know, if anything could have happened, now the championship belongs to Christopher Heller.
Well, I'll confirm here. I'm not sure how many points the next car back was.
It was Nicholas Gowen himself, actually, which needs to finish 8th or better, so winning would help, but Heller would still be able to block him. Side by side, though, 31's going to slide up, has to get out of it. You just can't pass on that lower end.
Just tough to get around here at the end of this race. You know, again, he has a slight tire advantage, but just a couple of laps, so it's not really going to make a world of difference. As he's got 20 left to go, can he find a way around that 9 car, Carrington, or is Carrington going to bring home his first win of the season?
Going to see what he's got here on corner exit. Going to pull up beside him? No. Going to tuck back in line. He's just going to have to find a way to get a run and pull up over Casey.
Yeah, he's really just got to be patient and strike at the right time, because you keep pulling up underneath him, you're just going to slow yourself down. He just needs to get the right timing here. Maybe he can get a run into a corner, get something done. He's got some time, but he definitely doesn't want to waste many more laps away.
Definitely not. We only have 20 to go now. 20 laps remaining around Darlington in the Southern 200 All-American Cup Series right here on Hutchison Motorsports TV.
Absolutely, as we are feeling good about the finish of this one. These fans are on their feet, off their seats. They are ready for the finish of this one, as we have a battle for the race lead coming into the closing laps.
The Lady in Black always putting on a show. Like I said, I'm going to be there myself Saturday and Sunday for the NASCAR Truck Series and Cup Series events. Looking forward to some great racing, as always, in the Southern 500. This is just getting my weekend started right here.
Yeah, it's really got to build up the anticipation for you. You know, you're going to be here in just a few days seeing this race. And as the going to the inside here, battle for the race lead. But where's the 75 going to go? Who is he going to block?
Oh, man, this is going to be a tournament of events here. The 75 really has nowhere to go. If he goes high, he blocks the race leader. If he goes low, he blocks Gowen.
Boy, Gowen really missed an opportunity there. If he could have stayed underneath Carrington and at least had a 50-50 shot to choose the right lane. But unfortunately, he's going to have to fall back behind as he takes him 3 wide to the bottom. Does Gowen have a run into the corner? Nick Gowen going to take over the race lead with some help from the lap car of Christopher Angel.
And Jimmy's goes wild. I bet I can hear them now if I poke my head out across the out of the window across the river, almost 20 minutes away from me.
Wow, Jimmy's is erupting. Casey Carrington probably not happy with the 75 of Christian Angel there, but the lap car, he was doing everything he could to keep that thing up there and unfortunately slowed down your race leader at the time.
Definitely so. That was only his first lap loss, so he was actually kind of defending his position there, so no one could blame him. He has every right to defend that position, but definitely at the dismay of the 9 car.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. It is greatly unfortunate, and I'm sure Carrington's not happy about it, but, he was on the lead lap up until that point. You don't want to just pull over and give up and go down a lap. But nonetheless, Gowen out front has the clean air. He's finally able to pull away from Carrington. This shows how hard it is to pass here, folks. As soon as he gets around Carrington, he's pulling away. He's already a second out front.
Definitely so. With 15 laps to go, he's done everything but put the wheels up on this airplane to victory here at Darlington.
In the chat, Joe Mama says, oh, Casey is pissed.
Oh, I bet he is. But, you know, unfortunately, it's all he could have done.
And we got all the goings in the chat. Chat is blowing up. Boy, Christian, I'd love to be in Jimmy's right now, hearing the screaming and hollering.
Definitely so. We got a new going in the chat. Elise going. Which one are you? Let us know. All the way from the West Coast. Going has people watching all the way from Wilmington all the way to the West Coast.
Wow, from the East Coast to the West Coast, Nick Gowen's family runs wide and deep across the country. They are here to watch Nick win the Southern 200 with just 12 laps left to go.
And unfortunately, I've been watching Casey back there. You know, the only chance that anyone has of catching him would be that 9 car, but he just keeps getting upset into the wall. His tires have definitely fell off, getting loose. Connor LaFrance back there, a second and a half behind the race leader now. But, you know, I don't think he's going to have time. Behind that, you had the 83 of Alexander Bryson. He is 3 seconds behind. And then, rounding out your top 5 is Justin Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson way back there. So, again, unless there's a caution come out, or Carrington can get that car back rolling. It looks like he's starting to reel back in the race leader a little bit, about 0.8 of a second behind him with a lap car in front of your race leader.
Definitely is catching him right now, but Nick Gowen's on the radio, very upset with that 16 and it's 26 in front of him. Yep. I believe so. But saying that you're gonna have to go or do something.
Again, though, you know, just like the last lap car, Christian, the 26 is the last car on the lead lap. You don't want to go down a lap because let's say there is a late caution, and you basically just threw it away.
Definitely not. You know, this is probably, you know, I say that now he's still walking away from. So the 26 isn't hindering him too much.
Yeah, well, I do believe the 26 pit after the 31, so he should have fresher tires, so he should be able to get away from him. So we'll see how this plays out here.
16 laps tires on his tires, so he should have the speed, but he also has some damage.
Yeah, so it looks like he's got that thing figured out. He's back rolling. He's not holding up your race leader anymore. Race lead back up to over a second with just 9 laps remaining here in the Southern 200 with the All-American Cup Series season finale.
Definitely nice just to take a moment and listening to the cars rumble around this track. Definitely been a night to remember. You know, haven't really tore up too many race cars, but we definitely had the ARCA brakes. We definitely had the upsetting cautions with 8 laps to go.
Coming this time around, going to be 7 remaining here. Your race leader, Nick Gowen, entire family is watching. The chat is blowing up. The Wilmington, North Carolina native is almost there. 7 laps remain at Darlington in the Southern 200 with a sold-out crowd.
Definitely so. Now 7 laps to go. We're going to go onto the track. Look at these beautiful machines. They all look war battered. See the stripes on the right side. That's the paint from the lady in black.
They are ripping it around this track here. They want to leave nothing out here. We see tire debris up top. There's damage everywhere all over the track. The wall's been halfway torn down, but out front, Nick Gowen trying to outlast the lady in black here at Darlington with 6 laps left to go. Make it 5 this time around.
Definitely so. Look at the 31 coming down the backstretch. Definitely his race to win or lose at this point. But, however, ladies and gentlemen, 5 laps left. And if your car doesn't have a Darlington stripe by now, you've probably been driving the pace car because the leader is hanging on. The chasers are throwing everything but the toolbox at him. And this old girl of a racetrack is about to write one more wild chapter in her history books.
Well, you know what? I think that 31 car, Nick Gowen, looks a little too clean. If I was Nick, I'd probably go up there and maybe smack the wall a little bit just to get a little bit of damage on that right side.
No, That's what you do on the burnout. You know, if your car is illegal, we're going to keep that a little bit of a hush-hush, but you're going to back it into the wall on your burnout, totally by accident, you know. But, you know, Jimmy Johnson, 7-time championship crew chief Chad Canales even told him that one time, live on camera, said if you win, you got to back the car into the wall.
Yeah, that was definitely an incident they didn't want to be nationally advertised, but it was nonetheless. But Nick going out front, 2-second lead for Nick. If this thing stays green, there is no chance anybody takes that win from him.
Definitely so. And with Christopher Heller running 5th, we're gonna keep it clean and green. Christopher Heller is gonna win the championship, but Nick Gowen is gonna win the race.
3 laps left to go this time around here. Nick going out front by a mile, has some lap traffic to deal with though.
Definitely so. I think, you know, at this point, not the ones on the lead lap, but pretty much anybody else on the track is just going to get out of his way, knowing that it's time to go with the 2 laps around this track. One more time around for myself, and then I'm going to hand it over to my broadcast colleague, Blake Hutchinson, to finish it off here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this was the Southern 200 here at Darlington. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time myself, the white flag is in the flagman's hand. And ladies and gentlemen, it's waving here at Darlington. White flag in the air. Blake, take us home.
Nick going out front, your leader, white flag in the air, has nothing to worry about. Caution cannot fly. We are gonna get a finish with a clean turn through turns 1 and 2 onto the backstretch. Nick going out front at Darlington, final race of the season, All-American Cup Series season finale. Nick going out front with his entire family watching at Jimmy's from Wilmington, North Carolina. Checkered flag in the air. Nick Gowen wins the Southern 200.
Right there at the line, there was an issue between the 9 and the 40. But I think they, you know, just hard racing. I think they're okay.
Boy, what a finish there. A great race. Only a couple of cautions, you know, couldn't really do anything about, but had some strategy calls play out. But Nick Gowen, he was out front the whole night. We thought he might have some competition there from the 40 of La France, but that last pit cycle just didn't work out for that 40 car.
Definitely not. You know, the 9's talking in the chat about what might have been for him too. Unfortunate, just the pit cycle really killed a lot of people's strategy there. That random random caution, if you will, as the pit cycle started, definitely shook things up. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I reckon it's time to interview some people. Blake, do you want to go 3, 2, 1 champion?
Yeah, I say we save the champion for last.
Absolutely. So we're going to look into the chat for our Connor LaFrance. I have him right here. Ladies and gentlemen, your 3rd place finisher here tonight at Darlington is Connor LaFrance. Do you have a copy on Blake and Christian in the booth?
Gotcha.
Welcome in. 3rd place finish tonight, battling with Casey right there at the end. In contention almost all night. I'm sure that caution was untimely for you to walk us through the entire evening.
I mean, it was a handful that whole race. Those first 2 runs, I believe I felt like I had the fastest car. I felt something to win with, but that 3rd run there, I kind of ran it a little too hard and I ran my stuff out.
Yeah, you know, great run for you. 3rd place finish to finish out the year. It didn't line out how you wanted. You had a shot to win it there till the end, unfortunately. But it has to feel pretty good to finish out the year strong.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've had some good runs, but not good finishes. I was averaging about top 5 in almost about every race, but I just wasn't having finishes to show for it. So I'm glad to get a podium here.
Yeah, well, Christian, what else you got for our 3rd place finisher before we send them out?
Definitely just, you know, one more congratulations on a good season. I'm not sure where you end up on the championship boat, but, you know, good job throughout the entire season. One last time to give any shout-outs you might have.
Thanks, sir. Shout out to CSM.
There you go, CSM. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was your 3rd place finisher here tonight. Connor LaFrance going to move right along If I could find him in the
Waiting room.
server here. There he is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Your second place finisher here tonight after, a series of unfortunate events. Casey Carrington going to lock in second place. You got a copy on the booth?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Welcome in, Casey. Definitely, I heard you on the radio. Definitely some unfortunate turn of events with that last caution that really screwed pit cycles. But I wanted to walk us through your evening and what was going through your mind.
Yeah, well, I knew coming in that I was going to have a lot of good speed. Darlington's probably my best track on iRacing, and really fast in practice, really comfortable with the car. I knew it was going to tighten up as the race went on. It was super loose early on in the race, but with it getting dark and the track gripping up, it was going to fix itself. Qualifying, man, third week in a row. I don't know what the deal was. I hit the wall coming out of the pits. I reset, and then first lap I kind of threw away. Second lap, I was probably going to put it about P9 or so, but I ran out of time right as I got to the start-finish line. So I ended up 26, and at that point I knew I wasn't going to win the race. So it was just about trying to minimize the damage and get up to the front and, try to play the strategy card, and hopefully it would work out for me. And of course, it almost did if it weren't for that last caution. But oh well, hey, this is I think the fewest cautions we had all season other than Sonoma, so I'm not going to complain about untimely yellows tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty clean race. You cycled into that race lead. You did a minor short pit there and were able to get in front of going. You were able to hold them off there for a while, then unfortunately got into some lap traffic.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, I get it. On the 75, he's trying to stay on the lead lap there. Of course, he quit out before the race was over anyway, but we're not going to mention that part. And Nick was fast. He was the fastest car, I think, all night, and it was really just my decision to pit on the second to last caution and take tires that even gave me a shot at that. So the right guy won tonight. I was just hoping that, maybe he'd have his internet go out or bounce it off the wall or get taken out by a lapped car, and I could grab a win here.
Well, unfortunately, it didn't work out. But, hey, a second-place finish has to feel pretty good for the season finale. You got any shout-outs before we head out for the season?
Yeah, I want to shout out you guys for doing the broadcast this season. You guys came on extremely last minute. A lot of people probably would have turned it down. It was so last minute. But appreciate that. I know you had some technical difficulties. Glad you were able to get those sorted out. Sorry for that. But shout out to everybody that watched this season. Shout out to all the drivers, man. It was a rough season by our standards. A lot of wrecks, a lot of drama. But thankfully, we ended on a good note. Shout out to everybody that, like I said, that watched the broadcast this season. Shout out to my teammates, Lucas Strayer, Logan Hamilton before he had to withdraw, all the subs that filled in for him, Jacob Thornton, Chris Lewis, the team owner, of course, Asheville Rooftop Bar Tours, and Cornwall Barbecue for barbecue sauce for the sponsorship for the team. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to next season, but glad to, fix my disaster of a season that I'd had thus far and end it with a podium.
Absolutely. Well, hey, great job, and it was a great season. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of downs as well.
Had its great points, had its low points.
Yeah, and it's good to see you finish off the season strong, and we definitely appreciate all your hard work. We know you spent a lot of hours putting all this stuff together.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Sorry, I couldn't get some broadcast notes here for these last couple races. I've just been really busy.
It's all
with
good.
Non-iRacing stuff. So anyway, I'll let you guys get the winner in here, and like I said, thanks for broadcast, and shout out to everybody still watching after this long ass interview. I'm out. See you.
All right, have a good one. Casey Carrington, your second place finisher and the league admin, but it's time to pull in our race winner. Christian, go ahead and get him in here. Nick going with his entire family watching. They are waiting to hear him.
Definitely so. Our race winner tonight from Wilmington, North Carolina. The fans at Jimmy's are loud and proud of their hometown native, Nick Goen, your Southern 200 winner. How do you feel, Nick?
I feel pretty good. This was a hell of a race.
Definitely so. So, that late caution right practically as you pit. You probably saw the car go around. What was going through your mind there as you knew you're going to have to restart?
Damn, am I lucky? Just had that caution come out any sooner, I definitely probably would have gotten sent to the back for entering a closed pit. So I definitely got lucky with the timing of it. I knew from then I'd probably come out in front of everybody else that was going to have to pit under the caution, which gave me good track position over everybody else. So after that, it was just trying to make quick work of the cars on order tires in front of me, and that gave me a nice buffer to second and third place. So Casey was really quick tonight. Connor was really quick tonight. He was great on the long run. I don't know what he was doing, but he was. I think he was quicker than anybody else on the track tonight. So, man, what a race!
Absolutely. Hey, you did a great job with your whole family watching. You know, you had a family member from Seattle watching even.
Yes, all over the country. Over out in Seattle, Charlotte, Wilmington, at the Hog Pen. Shout out to them. People at Jimmy's, appreciate you watching.
Yeah, you know, Jimmy's was erupting there when he took over the race lead. Unfortunately, we had some stream issues during the middle, but by lap 100, we had things lined out, and they were pumped up to see you take back that race lead and get the job done here tonight.
Man, I feel great. It feels amazing. Glad that they were able to watch, and glad I was able to put on a good show for them.
Definitely. So if my math is correct, this actually puts you second place in points. So congratulations on that one.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Great job, Nick.
Um,
Have you done your shout outs yet? I'm sorry.
I can, if you'd like me to.
Yeah, go ahead. Give your shout outs.
Well, yeah. Shout out to my girlfriend watching out in California. Shout out to family out in Seattle. Family and friends watching from the Hog Pen in Wilmington, North Carolina, as well as Jimmy's. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Thank you for Casey adminning this whole season, putting the league together and everything. It was some hard-nosed racing there towards the end. It's probably some of the best racing I've had in a long time. But and thank you guys for doing the broadcast. I can't remember if I said that or not, but hopefully we'll see you next season.
Yeah, well, you never know. But, hey, we appreciate you coming out here, Nick, getting the job done in front of your family. We'll send you down to celebrate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, that was your race winner tonight here at Darlington. Usually that's where we go say sayonara, have a good night. But no, ladies and gentlemen, he may not have won the race tonight, but he is taking home your All-American Cup crown. Christopher Heller, how do you feel, man?
I'm pretty excited. That was a lot of fun. That was probably the best race we had all season.
Definitely so. You know, an untimely caution, I don't know how that may have affected your strategy or anything, but, you know, all you had to do is pretty much have a decent finish tonight to keep the championship. So congratulations on that note.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, my strategy went about as well as it could have tonight. I mean, there was one little sketchy part in it, but then it ended up working out because I just stayed out while a lot of the other people who were on the same strategy as I was decided to duck down into the pits. And I was like, well, I'm not going to get caught up in the yellow. I'm going to run this thing till it's about out of gas. And luckily, for me anyway, not really luckily for the other people, but luckily for me, I stayed out and that strategy worked out. So it kind of patched up a strategy that I probably should have been on, which was going into the pits prior to that. But no, it's a great night for sure.
A great run for you, able to round out the season with another top 5 here tonight. Got the job done. You know, I think Patty was in the chat all season long rooting for you.
Yeah, that's my mother. She's awesome. Couldn't ask for a better mom, so thank you.
Okay, once again, congratulations taking home this points championship with the All-American Cup Series. Before we head out, you got any shout-outs for all these fans at home that are watching?
Of course. First off, I want to thank you guys for the broadcast popping up in a short amount of time for sure, so I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate Casey for running the league. I appreciate all the All-American drivers for showing up this season. I mean, I think this was the smallest field we had all season. We've had packed fields all season long. So I appreciate everybody doing their part and showing up and racing with us. And, of course, my teammate who wasn't able to make it tonight, he's on vacation, so I hope he's enjoying his vacation for sure. And my parents, my mom and my dad for watching me and cheering me on this season.
Yeah, well, hey, congratulations again, taking home the championship. Christian, you got anything for our points champion here?
Just one final congratulations and welcome to the big times, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, well, hey, congratulations. That was your season points champion. Christopher Heller getting the job done, rounding out the top 5 there as well. So has to feel good for him to lock it down. Christian, what'd you think of this race here tonight?
You know, Darlington never fails to put on a show, and that stuck here tonight in the All-American Cup Series. Makes me just even more excited for the racing I'm going to see Saturday night and Sunday night. So definitely a congratulations to everyone in this field here in the All-American Cup Series. A hard-fought season. Y'all all put on one heck of a show. Thank you for everything that you have done this season.
Absolutely, like Christian said, and the good news is we saved the best for last of the season. I think that was the best race of the season, and I'm not going to lie, a lot of times these Darlington races can be snooze fests on broadcast, but this was actually a pretty good race minus the technical issues we had in the middle. But hey, we were able to get it lined out during the most important part at least. But nonetheless, folks, thank you all for tuning in here. Your Thursday night league comes to an end here this week. All-American Cup Series. This was their season finale. We are not sure we'll be back here for the next season. It's not looking that way, but nonetheless, it was fun while it lasted. But be sure, click that like button, subscribe to the page, folks, because we have many other series. We're going to have our Tuesday series going on. We'll have 2 Wednesday series, and we have a Sunday series, and I'm doing some fill-ins on Mondays as well with a new Super Formula Light series. So we're getting into some open wheel stuff as well, but we're sticking to our NASCAR roots too. But nonetheless, thanks again for tuning in, folks. In the booth with Christian Taylor, Blake Hutchinson signing off. We got some messages for you, though, before you head out. Thanks again for tuning in.
For the first time ever, it's a racing Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Green flag in the air as a GTV ripping down the front straight.
Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed. 42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk. It's a parking lot. They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's gonna be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked. Oh my goodness! He got dumped in the incineration. Caution is out. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Toward each other with their chunks